So, another week has come to a close. The fourth week actually. I was gonna say third because it's been my third week of school, but only my second full week. The whole thing is a little confusing. I've had a cold almost this whole week. It might be because of the air conditioner. I've heard that air conditioners can cause colds. I'm not sure if it was because of that or not, but yeah, I've had a cold. It's almost gone now, but it's still feeling some effects of it. School was good again. Got a little less of the annoying small errors on my tests. Homeworks. I actually, on 2 homeworks in a row, now the Friday and Thursday, all my errors, as far as I remember, were true errors, so to speak, where I actually did it wrong. But those little things where I just forget to put the 2 stripes on ha to make it ba, like, that's just really fucking annoying. So I've done a little better on that. The achievement test we did on Friday was a little bit of another story, because now, so far I've always gotten above 90 out of 100 on my homeworks and tests and stuff. Not always. I think I got below 90 twice, but it was still above 80. But this one will definitely be out. I'm just hoping this will be out above 80, basically, because I did one error several times. Because I was really not sure which way it was, and right after the test was over, I checked in the book, and it was the other way. It was, the wrong side of 50-50. It was the bleeding O particle, the object marker, which in potential form has to be changed into a ga. So, like, I can eat spicy food. Watashi wa karai tabemono ga taberaremasu. Not o taberaremasu. Like, otherwise you have, like, sushi o tabemasu, right? But then if it is I can do it, then it has to be a ga for whatever reason. But I thought that was also the case with passive form, which is to say that basically something has been done to you, sort of. So, in the sentence, my wallet was stolen, it's watashi wa saifu o toraremashita. And I changed all the o to gas. And actually, even there's always a little example before the actual questions, so to speak. And that example had an O in it, so I could have just taken that and then went with it, which is probably what they thought I would do. But I always assume maybe the people who made the test are trying to fool me somehow. Sometimes that does happen when they use, like, you have this thing where the first 2 you just change one into the other, and then they change the form on you, so it's like, instead of being current form, it's past form, and then they think, maybe you're going to just do the same so we got to throw in a little curveball to see that you're still, on your toes or whatever. So I'm thinking maybe this is, like, the example says that, yeah, but maybe we're supposed to change it to the other way. So I'm like, that plus, like, which was it then? Was it potential and passive, or potential only and not passive? And I'm still not sure in what cases does an O turn into a ga. I feel now I need to, like, really look into when does an O change into a ga, because it's driving me a little nuts right now. Other news, I was yesterday at a Halloween party here in the house. I didn't have a costume, obviously, so I bought and I wore this. It's a Hanya mask, which was, of course, Japanese size, which means too small for my big fat Swedish face. And the Hanya thing is basically, I wanted to get one anyway because it's basically the Majima, the demon that I see it as, because from the Yakuza games. So yeah, now I have it above my door, pinned to the, because all the walls are like one of those what are they called, notice boards things, like, so you can put needles in them really easily, which is very nice. It's not good for taping stuff, but tape is not good anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, so I met a bunch of people living here, which is good. Now I can say hi to them with a little more enthusiasm, I guess. It's actually cool that one person that lives in this house, he was actually raised he's a half Japanese. He was raised in Finland. He went to school in Finland, and in Finland, which unbeknownst to me actually, they teach Swedish in the schools to the children, which I actually didn't know. I thought Swedish, I know there's a contingent of Finnish people who are like Finnish Swedish, and they basically speak Swedish with a Finnish accent instead of Finnish. But I didn't know that they actually told that in school. I thought that was just a parent-to-kid thing. So that was impressive. So he actually can speak Swedish, not super fluently, but still pretty good. That was interesting. People dressed up and all that fun stuff. But I had the day before I was out with Homma-san and his friend Nakamoto-san, and we went out, stayed out like 3 in the morning, and then I woke up 10 the next morning, and my air breathing mask was on the floor, and I checked the machine, and the time said it had only been operating for 48 minutes. So it's like, okay, then I probably slept pretty badly tonight with like lots of like interruptions in my breathing and everything. And I was like yawning the whole day. So afterwards, so yeah, I didn't sleep well. And then I went out to a couple more stores to buy more games. So, but by the time the party came around, I was really tired. Also, for like seems like the millionth Sunday in a row, it's really just two. Probably 3. The first time I was in Tokyo, the other 3, I think, it's raining, and I don't want to go outside and film like this when it's raining, because I can't get my camera wet. And I actually looked up on Yodobashi that you can buy a thing that connects to the tripod that has an umbrella that you can attach to a holder. It's not really, it's not a typical umbrella. It's one of those reflector thingies, but it's a bit too expensive. And then I found another one that was like double the price. Like, what the fuck? Something that easy. So I'm figuring next time I'm in this situation, I'm gonna try just taping my fucking umbrella to the fucking tripod, because tape can solve any problem. Yeah. So next time, god damn it, I will be outside. Actually, next week I'm going to be in Osaka, because we're off school on Friday next week, so I've already booked a hotel in Osaka, which is close to it's close to Shinsekai, which is the place from Yakuza 2 where the big tower is, and it's not too far away from Dotonbori either. It's like 3.5 kilometers, which is basically like it is here to Kyoto Station, so I can walk there, and I will be making hopefully then my next end of week video from Osaka, which will be cool. Yeah, that's basically my little summary of the week. And now on to games, because I got my it was payday this week, so to speak, so between Wednesday this week and yesterday I bought a few games. So interestingly, 4 of them were for the Nintendo DS, although I don't have a DS yet. I have one back in Sweden, but I didn't bring it. Sucker. I'm gonna get a 3DS here, but I haven't done that yet. So, but I'm buying games anyway. One that I found the week before, but I basically didn't buy because I didn't want to spend money. But then I got the money. I got money, so Rockman Zero Collection. Unfortunately, it's not like the super original release. It has this new best price 2000 thing on it. I don't know what 2000 means in this case. I don't think it's a year, because this game came out in like 2010. So it's not that. Anyway, this Mega Man Zero 1 to 4. But the DS version is better than the Game Boy Advance versions, because on Game Boy Advance you have A, B, L, and R. Here you have A, B, X, and Y. So you can use a more Super Nintendo-like control scheme with a game that's built like a Mega Man X game in that sort of. So it's awkward to use L and R much better to use it and with the buttons like this instead of like this. So the control, which is my big problem with playing Mega Man Zero on Game Boy Advance, is going to be solved with this. The only question now is, do I keep my... I have Mega Man Zero 1, 2, and 3, I think, on the Game Boy. 2 of those are Japanese versions, but still, do I keep those, or do I get rid of this? Because I've decided to, like, collect Mega Man games, but should I just keep every one, even though they're sort of obsolete when I have this version? I haven't decided that yet. Final Fantasy 3, Japanese of course, but that's a challenge rather than a problem. 500 yen or so sure. First I guess I'll show this one. Starfy, Densetsu no Starfy 4 in other words, which is the legendary Starfy 4. I have 1 and 2 on Game Boy Advance. There's also 3 on Game Boy Advance, but I haven't found that yet. And 4 is, I guess, probably more of the same, but it's the same as fun in this case. So, and then Starfy 5, which is called the legendary Starfy in America, as if it was the first game, but it's not the first game. It's actually the number 5. But weirdly enough, in Japan, this is not called just Densetsu no Starfy 5. It's Densetsu no Starfy Taiketsu Dairu Kaizokudan. So some kind of like fight something pirate group. So I don't know, but it's probably just a random ass subtitle. Anyway, fun games. Pick this one up for cheap. Mickey's Magical Adventure. Yeah, now I have all 3. I bought them in the wrong order. First I bought number 3, and then I bought number 2, and now I bought number 1. But it was only 600 yen, so why not? And for 500 yen I bought Kirby Bowl, aka Kirby's Dream Course, if I remember right. I saw that once before, but it was 1,500, which is, I think, was too much for this mini golfy game that I'm not like super duper interested in, but I haven't really tried it either. So for 500 yen, sure, I'll try it. But then I actually found a game that it's somewhat rare and had a pretty good price. Although it makes one of my other games redundant now. It's Clock Tower, which makes the PlayStation version I bought redundant, because now I have the Super Nintendo version actually. The boxed version was like 7,000 yen, but this one was 2,500, which is still, I guess, 3 times as cheap as what's currently on eBay, basically. So it's still a good deal. One Game Boy Advance game, Kirby Densetsu no Kabi Kagami no Daimekyu. So something is like Big Meikyu, I don't remember what that is, but it's not maze, but something of the whatever. It's Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, and it's one of the few Kirby games I've never ever played. And I found also Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland, aka Kirby Deluxe, it's called in Japan, for the same price. Good price, but I figured instead of buying the game that's a remake of a game I already played, which is a remake of Kirby's Adventure, I might as well go for the game I haven't played ever, so I got that instead. 2 Famicom games. Mylon's Secret Castle, which I have bought once before, but this time I'm not going to sell it. Mylon's Secret Castle is a pretty decent game, but I need a guide. It's one of those games you need a guide to play it, to not waste several hours wandering around trying to find out what the hell you're supposed to do. But with a guide, I think it can be some fun. But here's a game. The next game is a game you don't need a guide to play. Heavy Barrel, which is if you take the overhead parts of Super C and make a whole game about them, basically, and you can control the scrolling of the stage a bit, and the characters make a fun noise when they die, like and they like that's I won't actually not play this game so much. I just played the hack called Chip and Dale 3, which it's just the same, but it puts them as Chip and Dale. So, and when they die, it looks like they're flipping the finger and going. But yeah, good action game. It's only 1,000 yen. So yeah, and also that was at the A2 store. There I also saw Solomon's Key 2, aka Fire and Ice, for a pretty good price. Not super cheap, but it's actually about the same as it goes for on Yahoo Auctions, where the cheapest prices are. Speaking of Yahoo Auctions, which brings me to my last game. I got a Yahoo Auctions login just to buy this game, and turns out then you have to pay. I can't pay with PayPal, which I should have understood. But I don't have a Japanese bank account yet. But you could also pay via a convenience store, so that's what I did. And this game is what I got. That's what I was hinting to last week. It's Monster World 4, which is like pretty expensive when it comes in the box. It's not sold cartridge only very often, but I don't care. I don't have to have the box. Cartridge alone is fine. This is kind of like if Magical Poppin' was made for the Genesis, Mega Drive. So that's why I wanted the game, and now I have it. Really good. This and Clock Tower and Great Battle 5 are the three rare-ish games I've found so far, and I've only been here 4 weeks, so there's, almost 1 month down now, and yeah, I have 11 more, so I'm hopeful. But I've been to most of the stores that could have our potential treasure troves in Kyoto now, but not all of them. There's a map. Bing. See, there are still a few that aren't crossed out, like the one at Lake Biwa, which I wanted to go to this weekend, but it had to start raining, so I didn't do that because I wanted to film at the same time. But whenever I have a day that it's not raining, I'm going to go there, and then at the same time there's a hard off and a book off to check that for games. So yeah, it continues. Anyway, now I am done. Thank you for watching, and see you next week, or next time I make a video. Bye!